Last orders at the bar, please.
Welcome to Tavern Tales, a curated 5e Dungeons & Dragons adventure set in the tales of the Yawning Portal campaign module by Wizards of the Coast. Previously on Tavern Tales, webs and water walls have led to a room holding a halfling, from crayfish to scorpions and sea lions to manticore. Is this halfling really the final encounter of this section of the dungeon?
Come sit down and drink with the enemy, raise a glass and toast to the enemy, and I'm not gonna do this on my own. So come sit down and laugh with the enemy, raise a glass and sing to the enemy, and I'm not gonna do this on my own. So I won't end up being alone, 'cause I won't drink my drink alone. So what about you? One beer or two, I'll drink to you.
Maybe if we just smoke this hookah, we will get out of this room, at least mentally.
Yeah, I mean, there's no rush. Those manticores on the other side are always hungry, but they get fed once a week at 5 p.m. And usually they're so full afterwards you can make your way around if you need to. But really, you're the first heroes that have gotten into my room in forever.
What do you eat?
Oh, I get a week's supply of groceries on that Friday as well. Friday at 5 p.m.
Oh.
Every creature we have come across in this dungeon has some sort of work to be done or requirement. What is your requirement here in this room?
Yeah, I'm supposed to kill anybody that comes in here trying to take Black Razor. But I don't even know where Black Razor is. That's just what I was told. And honestly, you're the first people I've met, so I'm super excited to get a chance to talk to some people. To tell you, manticores through a door is not great conversation.
So they do come through that door.
Well, no. They can't come through that door. We can talk to each other. They don't come in here.
I understand. You seem very friendly, and you likely should be an ally, and we can assist you in leaving this place.
Well, that'd be great. I'd love to leave.
Wonderful. You mentioned an item in here.
Yeah, but I don't know where it is.
As we are now friends and allies, and we'll be moving together and we'll get you out of here, would you allow us to search this room for that item?
Now, I kind of know a lie when I see him, because you don't seem the type to make friends all that quickly, he says in quotation marks.
What are you talking about? Zuvus is my best friend.
What's the expression that crosses Zuvus' face when Thesis says that?
He is going to try and make like a genuine smile.
Yeah, but we all know what your charisma score is. So really, what is, and because deception is not something you're skilled in.
No, persuasion is.
Right.
He tries to smile, but his eye
twitches every time you hear that. Friends forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zuvus and Thesis.
So, flashback. Zuvus had a good friend, right? Zuvus used to make friends with people. It wasn't so hard in the past. This friend betrayed you, right? Because they were not actually a friend at all. And that's what's always set you up, because there was this, what was their race? Tell me a little bit about this person that broke your heart, like your friendship heart, stopped you from being able to cast Care Bear Stare. What was their name? What did they look like?
They were a human named Magna.
Magna, cool.
And she seemed to be a very tiny, nimble, frail human.
Yeah. She was a caster of some kind. You never were sure, wizard or sorcerer or something like that.
And that's where I learned some of my abilities from, is I learned from her, which is where I started learning about alchemy.
Oh, okay.
As a Triton. So, because it was something she dabbled in with her magic. I still was never sure of what she did, but I picked up alchemy from her.
Okay. But chips were on the line one day. Was your life, like, you thought for sure that you were both going to die together. And Megna, suddenly transformed before your eyes, betrayed you because they were none other than the Oni ogre mage Kesnef all along, had never been Megna at all. Ever since then, you were betrayed by this person you thought was this one thing, turned out to be something else. Maybe it's happened again as well. Sir Bluey certain to seemingly be one thing and then turned out to be another. So maybe it sometimes goes the good way, but you don't want to really find out.
Right.
And this Kesnef, Q-E-S-N-E-F, Kesnef, the Oni.
Oh, I almost spelled it.
Yeah, positive. As long as you heard the Q to begin with, Kesnef
Well, I
falls
did.
pretty easily.
I did Keznef.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Kesnef, the ogre mage, betrayed Zuvus on that day and left Zuvus for dead. And it is only through luck and your own will to survive that you made it through. And Elton Brushgather smiles at the group and says, "So, what are your names?"
Vulcan.
"Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Vulcan." And he offers a halfling hand.
Yeah, Vulcan's going to accept with his massive hand.
Hello, small creature. I am Thesis Phase.
"You are not a person. Interesting. Huh." He walks all around you and says, "Well, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance nonetheless, construct."
Are they the same height?
No.
Oh.
No, he's a halfling, so he's like 3 foot tall.
Oh, okay.
Thesis Phase is human-sized.
Okay.
Maybe a little short, like 5'2" or something. Is that what you said?
I always thought she was smaller because she keeps referring to herself as a doll.
She is a porcelain doll in shape, but not size.
No, she's like 5'3" or 5'2",
Yeah, okay.
somewhere in there. And she goes, "You are smaller than most things that I know."
"Oh, you haven't met many halflings or gnomes or dwarves or... There's a lot of us."
It's true. I did lead a sheltered life.
"Oh, you don't say. I'm pretty sheltered myself these days." Let me tell you, been here probably 80 years.
Would you like to come with us?
Can't leave. Won't let me.
Oh.
Bound by the Gaius. Stuck in this room, guarding a thing I don't even know where it is.
You obviously already know my name,
Zuvus?
but we have
Of no nickname, I'm gonna guess.
none at all.
Got it right. Cha-ching. Ooh, wait. Cha-ching. That's you knew somebody that said cha-ching.
You remind me.
Lots of people say cha-ching, so.
You remind me of someone I used to know, but you do not look like them.
Somebody that you used to know? He asks in a question mark at the end of somebody.
Why were you brought to this place? What agreement did you make with?
I made no agreement, just woke up here one day and I'm kind of stuck inside. Been here for 80 years.
80 years.
80 years.
What did you do before that 80 years?
I was a carpenter. Drove my father mad because, we were brush gatherers and I decided to take that brush and turn it into something. I made a whole bunch of wicker chairs and wicker tables. I was really good at getting the weaving of the branches, especially willows.
You're adorable.
Oh, thanks. You're not so odd looking yourself.
Oh, boy.
Zuvus is just going to stare at this creature,
Okay.
trying to decipher the mannerisms that they have in the language they're using.
Sure.
I wish I could telecommunicate right now.
I don't have message or sending or...
Zuvus,
Yeah.
can you create food?
No.
Why'd you look at me?
Well, I'm looking at both.
You just get lumped
Unfortunately,
in.
Yeah, I'm just here.
food is not a thing I am able to create.
Nope, only clerics can create food and water.
I don't really want to kill the manticores, but they might need some killing.
But what does that have to do with food?
Well, because we could just be like, here's some food, manticores. Now you stay there. And we go past and we go to get the other doorway, obviously.
Thinking about leaving already? Come on, have a seat on the cushions and kick your feet up for a while. Let's chat.
Okay.
Mm.
Thesis goes and sits.
Oh.
Anybody like a hookah?
I do not think it'll do anything to me, so I'll try.
No, you should, because then the smoke will just come out the holes in your body.
I can't imbibe. I don't have, my lips don't move.
Oh, you don't have a vacuum pump?
It is a lipless face. Like my lips are like painted on my doll face that do not open. My voice comes from my face area.
Like hexadecimal.
Ah,
Well, Phasis is saying that I'm going to walk over to Vulcan and I'm just going to whisper, something feels off about this.
I hate to agree with you, but you are correct. Been here for 80 years. Doesn't know why.
Well, and there's things he is saying that sounds so familiar to me that just gives me a bad feeling, but I don't know why.
And who gets groceries delivered?
It must be Dungeon Eats.
Yes. And I eat whatever I get from Dungeon Eats.
And there's nothing else in this room other than the hookah, the cushions, his chaise lounge.
You haven't searched. It's not like you started picking up cushions and throwing things around to find something in here.
I'm going to look around the room.
Describe that for me.
He just starts walking, lifting up the odd cushion, seeing if there's anything amiss or
What are you looking for?
anything that would indicate why you would be potentially in this room.
I told you I'm protecting an artifact called Black Razor. I don't even know where it is.
So then why are you in this room protecting something that you don't know where it is and you're certain it's not in here?
I'm not certain. I just don't know where it is. I mean, I'm told it's in here, but I couldn't tell you. What are you guys doing here?
Looking for Black Razor?
Aw, man, that's gonna suck.
Why?
Well, if you take Black Razor, I'm not gonna have done my job if you find it, because I don't know where it is. But if you find it and take it, then think bad things happen to me?
But from what we understand, Caraptus has put most of the individuals into this.
He looks around, he's like, who?
Caraptus, I would assume he's the one who placed you here.
Brother, I just woke up here. I don't know this Caraptus person.
Well, that's besides the point. I believe that's who would wish you harm if you were to release the artifact to us. However,
Besides the point, beneath the point, above the point, never on the point. That's something Megna said.
I wish I could force him to show his true self.
I see your true color. You just sing. Anyway, he walks over and he has a big puff of the hookah. You sure you guys don't want to hit? It tastes like vanilla toffee. He breathes out this lengthy bit of smoke.
Magna.
Who? No, Thesis? I want to say Volcar.
Close enough.
Cool. Volcar and Zuvus. Magna?
Are you Magna?
No, I'm Alton Brushgather.
You've taken other forms before. I do not believe you or trust you.
Did you take a hit of the hookah while I wasn't looking? He looks at Thesis and Volcar.
Nope.
What are you going on about, buddy?
The things you say and the way you say them are the same as someone I knew a very long time ago that I thought was my friend and left me for dead.
Ouch!
Maybe he took a thing of the hookah. Maybe he drank from the hookah. Maybe it absorbs your soul. That would be fun.
What?
Does the hookah absorb the and then he drinks it?
Look, you just stay
And-
away from my hookah, okay?
And then he becomes your friend. Maybe your friend got sucked into the hookah. I'm tired.
Vulcan's going to whisper over to Zuvus. Are you certain that this person may or may not be Magmar?
Definitely not a Magmar
Like
either.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Is the Pokemon? Are you certain that this halfling might be Magna? This person who betrayed you?
There is an uncanny vocal resemblance. Can I do something to try and force them to?
No, I don't know. What do you... You're like, can I roll something, Kyle? I'm done with role playing. Just give me some dice so that I can punch things.
I
Cast web on it.
have no spell slots left. Level 2 spell slots. I don't
Yeah.
have them.
Anyways, if you guys need a rest, I'm a good cuddler. And he puts his arms out wide.
I don't think that's true.
Great. Another cuddler in the group.
I expect that cuddle would murder you in your sleep.
I'll hold you.
Yay! Oh, you're kind of sharp and slidey. He has his hand on your, side. It's part of your back sort of thing.
Oh, yeah. Maybe ask Elton a question that only Magna might know the answer to.
He likely would avoid the answer, as he's already previously done.
Well, it doesn't hurt to try.
Is he by chance wearing a bracelet?
Nope.
Dang.
Why?
It was gonna be our friendship bracelet.
Oh, you had a friendship bracelet?
Yeah.
Adorable.
To see if I could recognize it. Well, listen, whoever you are.
No, it's Alton.
What, and Magna's your middle name?
Why do you keep bringing this thing up? Nope, not at all.
I don't know if that's true. Anyways, we would like to find this artifact, and as we have told another, once we obtain the artifacts, we are going to try and destroy Caraptus to try and release all the creatures from this area so they can go and live their lives and have freedom.
Wow. So where are we?
Wait, Plume Mountain. And
That sounds pretty, but I don't know where that is.
Thesis, it starts to like pat the halfling on his head.
Cool. Are you just standing there next to him, or do you guys go
I've
sit
already
on
been
the
sitting
divan
on.
and you're cuddling?
Yeah, I've already been sitting on the couch.
He's like, this is nice. I've been really lonely.
Physical touch is required for most squishy sentient creatures.
Physical contact does tell you somebody else is there. It's true.
Pat.
I'm just gonna start looking
Sure.
to see if we can try and find, because I've told them exactly what we intend to do, and so I'm going to start doing that.
Are you being like gentle?
We're being respectful. We're not just
Yeah.
like taking things and
Like moving it, don't find anything, put it back, kind of thing. Not just tearing through the place.
You can see that Alton is wearing a ring on his left hand and a ring on his right hand, but no other real fancy things. And
What kind of clothes is he wearing?
like linen, cloth, fabric, clothes. They're not too fancy, kind of homespun. The two of you are cuddling on the divan, and you guys lift up all the cushions and move around the entire space and can't find anything.
can we move the divan?
They're on it, so
Yes. Did you move the hookah?
he's like, careful with that. Don't, because it's not, like, it is fragile. You can kind of see underneath the hookah anyway.
Yeah.
There's a stone floor. So yeah, the only place that you haven't been able to see so far or do anything to is a divan, which has Alton and Thesis on it.
Let's move the divan.
Would you two canoodlers mind standing so we can check that area?
Yeah. Thesis stands up and still holding Elton.
Oh, that's nice.
And we'll walk over and go check the divan?
Sure. Describe that for me. I mean, you're definitely not the one doing it. It's a big, long couch.
Yeah, we're doing it together.
Right, you're totally helping.
Yeah.
Zuvus is the one standing there going, pivot, pivot.
nice.
A little bit to the left. A little more. No, to the right.
Pivot. So, right? Like,
Yeah.
his hand is on it,
I'm weighing it down more.
right? if that, just your own body weight.
Yeah.
And you move the divan. How is that? Just shoved roughly to one side. You pick it. What do you do?
So he's going to gently push it to the left of where it was. So he's going to push it to the left.
Well, how much? A little bit? Like,
5 feet.
all right, you uncover a whole pile of valuables underneath the divan, just casually shoved under there.
Thesis is going to start rocking
Like,
Elton.
1,000
Like a baby.
electrum, a 200 platinum. There's like beautiful pieces of jewelry worth thousands of gold, a potion bottle there. There's a scroll or two there. And just so happens to be a large, very large great sword shimmering in a black scabbard with a gorgeous, magnificent hilt.
Vulcan's going to pick up this sword.
I'm going to hold Elton tighter.
What? Why are you? Whoa! Look at all that stuff.
Yeah.
How convenient.
I'm going to cuddle him in a grapple.
Oh, look at that boring normal sword. That looks like it's a great item for you, Vulcan.
I do
That
believe
is the
this.
lowest persuasion score you've ever rolled.
It's deception. Thesis picking up what everybody's laying down and has seen the bad drawing of Black Razor before, knowing that it looks like
Oh, I mean, it's a great sword.
Yeah. No, I mean, because Black Razor was the one that she had to get.
Yes.
Alton, can I have all of this non-interesting stuff?
I didn't even know that stuff was there.
How long have you been in this room for?
Like 80 years.
And you've yet to... I don't
You've
quite
met gamers
believe-
before. He just sits there on his hookah.
I mean, I guess, but I'm not buying what he's throwing down. I'm more curious as to how he has been here 80 years, yet did not know he was sitting on a pile of riches.
To be fair, look at his size and look at how much it took you to move that just now. Do you really think that this little thing would have been able to check under there like you just did?
Whoa, hey, I totally could have done that. I could have moved that divan. I probably have a bunch of times. That stuff just probably, got caught up underneath it and dragged along.
I'm not buying any of this.
You're cute.
Ah, thanks. I think you're quite lovely as well. Can you put me down, though? This feels really like mixed signal infantilism.
Oh, that's right, because you said you were rocking him.
Yeah, I'm rocking him. Okay. Consent is important. I put him down.
So, hey, I know you guys are here for that thing on the ground, that black razor, but my responsibility here is to guard that thing.
You can come with us.
Well, as this dusty old sword has been just sitting under this divan that you have never moved, apparently, we can easily lighten the load for you and take it off your hands.
You're sure that's not that black razor thing? I mean, it is black. It is a sword. That's kind of a razor.
Razors are much smaller, used for shaving.
Why don't you make a deception check?
Can't wait.
The least skilled amongst us shall lie.
7.
Alton, I've appreciated our time together, but we've got to go.
But the manticores outside are going to attack you. You might as well wait till Friday.
Friday seems too long.
Okay. How are you going to deal with the manticores then?
As I'm sure you can both understand, my way is just...
Wait, when is Friday?
It's a couple days ahead, in a way. Shouldn't be too long.
And how do we know we're not in more danger here with you?
Well, you're not a willow tree, so I'm not going to bend you into furniture. That's just... That's a good one. What am I going to do to you?
Don't bend me into furniture.
No, you're lovely. I wouldn't do that.
I think you can do a lot more than you're saying.
Well, that's awfully kind of you. That's really nice. That is less nice.
Yeah.
That's the sound the manticores make when they hear me on the other side of the door. Yeah, that. I don't like that. That's hungry sound. So look, if that sword there is black razor, I don't think you should take that. I'll get in trouble.
I don't think it is. I'm sure.
Look at all the other stuff it's with. That is just a treasure trove of random stuff that is meant to entice adventurers into this dungeon. It's obviously not black banana or whatever you called it that would obviously be alone and not discarded under a chaise lounge.
Speaking of which, I highly don't recommend eating black bananas or even putting a black banana in banana bread. You should use just a slightly overripe banana for banana bread, not the black ones.
Why?
That just break down too much and there's the sugars or something wrong with them. Anyway, that's what my mom always said. Good old Anjum brush gather. My mom.
What did your mom look like?
Well, I hate to say it, but a lot like me with a little longer hair. A bit of a more, a swing of the hips.
I'm going to pull a locket from my neck.
Okay.
And it has a little picture in it.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to show it to him.
Sounds like you're spending something.
Feels like a gem.
Blue gem, okay?
No.
I used my white gems.
I got nothing. Sorry, fam.
Sorry, no.
Nobody has any white gems left
Well, I only
either?
have a blue one.
I never was given a white gem.
There you go.
How about 2 blue gems
No.
and a star?
No. Change the star. You got that from Ray Claire.
Yeah.
Those are things that you use on me to
Special.
change my story.
Aw. Okay.
So.
We don't get enough gems to make it interesting.
I get them. I just spend them.
Yeah. I reduced the number of gems that were being given out in a given game, principally because y'all didn't spend them during Shrine of Tamachan. You just held this pile of gems.
I change the story quite often.
You did a few times.
Elton does ask a good question, which is how do we take care of the manticores?
Well, if we can trust him, which I don't know if we can.
Of course you can.
I was not talking to you, Elton.
Well, there's not really anywhere else for me to go in this room, and I can hear the entire conversation, so it's only fair, you know.
How about you just turn around and put your hands over your ears? Be a good little halfling.
What the fuck, buddy? It's been 80 years since I talked to a single human being or any sort of being, and you're like, go over there, we have to have a private conversation, and we can't leave this room because there's manticores.
Exactly. Yes. We may want to wait till Friday when the manticores are no longer a threat, because in our current conditions, I don't know how well we will succeed at taking them, especially the big grumpy one.
You might be right.
I'm not going to turn down cuddling for 3 days if somebody is interested in cuddling with me.
We already know who's interested in cuddling with you. And his name
Oh, Vulcan, you're so right.
No, swing and a miss, unfortunately. His name is Elton. Well, as Zuvus said, we only have 2 options. Rest here or fight our way through with this useless sword.
I have one more question for you, Elton.
Yep.
Was your mother also a halfling, or was she by chance, I don't know, much bigger and more ogre-like?
Ogre-like? That's kind of a weird thing to say. Who is this guy? No, Anjum, my mom, lovely lady. She was another halfling just like me and was a very good friend to everyone in town.
This is trickery. Angum is Magna.
No, Anjum.
It's Magna backwards. You are not a halfling, are you?
He looks all himself up and down. He pinches himself and he's like, what are you on, buddy?
Oh, this is so frustrating.
He feels like
How
a halfling.
do the two of you feel about this?
Thesis stands up and she goes over to Zuvus and puts her hands on both sides of his body and says, Zuvus, I think it's time for an intervention. You are my best friend in the whole world. And so I need to tell you something. Magna isn't real.
That's right. She's right.
What do you mean?
Magna was never real. Magna was a lie, right?
Because Kesnev.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a bitch.
So that's right. Like, this person gets it.
Exactly. Magna was not real. Magna was my friend. Magna, who could also potentially be Angum, Magna backwards, turned out to be Kesnev, who was an Oni ogre mage that left me to die. So in conclusion, I believe this little shit over here is Kesnef's son, and he is doing the same as she and befriending us and will turn their back on us at the worst moment and leave us to die.
You're basing all this on the fact that Magna and my mom's name are kind of similar backwards and forwards?
And the things you have said are the things that she once said.
What? Like what?
I don't know what's wrong with him.
You said cha-ching, which not many people in this area do. That is very minimal amount of people I've ever encountered that use that phrase. As well as, there is another phrase you used in the beginning when we first entered this area, that it was like she was speaking through you.
I've heard other people say cha-ching. That's like one of my favorite things to say. I knew a car that said ka-chow.
You're so funny, Eldon.
I believe you are trying to deceive us, and you will turn your back on us when you have the chance, and I do not believe you are halfling. I believe you are an ogre, and I believe Kesnef is your mother, who also goes by Angdom, however you say it, who also goes by Magna 120 years ago.
Whoa.
But I've been stuck here for 80 years. How old are you?
I am 124.
Wow, you don't look it.
I get that a lot, thank you.
If I aged at all, I would ask for their moisturizing routine.
I'm just holding this useless sword.
Oh, you picked it up?
I told you I picked it up, and then you gave me that look of, okay, here's what's going to happen.
you're not here right now. You picked up the sword.
Yes.
First things first, you're not in the normal plane anymore. You're like surrounded by blackness, and there is the cawing of ravens, and you feel like there are woods encroaching all around you. It is dark. You do not feel you can fly. You are trapped, sort of thing. Somebody off in the distance, like a heckler at an improv show is really what that sounded like. You are not here right now, but everybody else can see his hand is smoking, not from fire, but from necrotic damage that's being wrought to him as he holds the sword, and he has a blank expression on his face, and a voice, sharp and dark, speaks to you in this place and says, "Who are you?"
I am a bit confused as to where I am more specifically.
Well, a bit confused as to where you are, but more specifically, you are not worthy, are you?
Worthy of...
So you can't even answer the question, can you? You're not worthy of anything. You're not worthy of life.
I'm worthy of many things. I don't know where I am specifically.
Could you give me directions?
Whom are you?
Something lashes out in the darkness, and a razor-thin line appears across your face, and blood trickles down.
Is he bleeding?
I ask the questions.
All right. I am Vulcan, master of the 6 galleons.
We'll come back to that in a moment. We have the heavier things going on here as Thesis.
Yes.
You have Alton Brushgather standing here, and you have Zuvus, your best friend forever, standing here. Who do you believe?
Yeah. Zuvus, even though they're a little crazy.
Demonstrate your belief in Zuvus.
Zuvus, you're old. And so you know more about the world than I do. And I believe that what you say is real.
So you do believe me. I appreciate that.
You are my best friend.
Friend.
So is conversation done?
Yeah.
Guys, like, there was not even idle chatter or banter, or didn't even tell a story or take a load off. You guys are
No fun whatsoever.
I knew it.
And that's where we'll end today's session.
Yep, this is going to be a problem. Between him and the other things, end of our story. Not going to make it out.
Raise a glass and drink with the enemy. Raise a glass and sing with the enemy. And I'm not gonna do this on my own. And raise a glass and toast to the enemy. Raise a glass and sing to the enemy. And I'm not gonna do this on my own.
This concludes this episode of Tavern Tales, a curated Dungeons & Dragons 5e game set in the Tales of the Yawning Portal adventure module by Wizards of the Coast. Our intro and outro music is the song Tavern Tales by the Bad Billy Band. You can find out more about the Bad Billy Band on iTunes or at www.badbillyband.com, or follow them on Twitter at badbillyband. Thanks for listening. Please feel free to leave us a review on iTunes or find us on Twitter at tavern_tales. We'll be back next week with more of the adventure.
6.
Wasn't it 7?
It's 6.
It's written.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I'll take another gallon. Why not?
Just give it me. It was